Okay. So we're sitting here with Terrence. You introduced yourself exactly like that. Terrence, you're now Terrence the Keto Kid Thomas.
Yeah.
For your previous life, you just said to me that
I was not even my government given. I was lost, man. I was lost, really. I really was.
So where are we sitting right now?
We are in Las Vegas, Nevada, you know, and we are at the Red Rock Resort and Spa.
Right.
So that is our current location.
Cool. And what are you doing here?
Man, I have just literally changed the trajectory of my life.
Right.
So
what did you come for? What is this? Where we're at? Why are you here?
I am currently at a Prove It. Well, I was because they are over now. It's the last 4 days. So I basically came to a Keto Academy more convention for Prove It.
Okay.
And
so Prove It being the same thing as what I do as well, and we all know that it is a supplement product.
Right.
And but founded by a very amazing community.
Yeah.
Right? Like
my family.
So you said earlier, that's pretty weird that you said that. You said that wasn't Terrence Thomas before, I was just Terrence Lost.
Yeah.
And now you're Terrence Keto Kid Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah, like an MMA fighter nickname now.
Right.
That's cool. So you and I met a few days ago. Our first day being here. Previous to our first day, we came early one night before, and we met each other at the bar having a cocktail.
Yep.
And so why don't you tell the viewers what got you to the event? What got you here? Why did you come here? What happened?
Right. So originally I was leaving Houston, and that's where I stayed. I was leaving Houston and driving my sister to Palm Beach because she goes to Palm Beach Atlantic. So in doing that, we drove, made the drive. Harvey hit Houston, so we're in Florida. And so just being in Florida, there was this badass Tesla, and it got orange fucking rims. So I was like, what the hell, who drives this car? So nobody's seen who drives this car. They just notice when it moves. So like one night I see this guy at the car. I'm like, hey, is this your car? He was like, yeah. I was like, man, this is a badass car. So we just started talking, we kind of get into a great conversation. He was like, you want to drive? I was like, hell yeah, do I want to drive? Okay, so I drive, and then I finally come to a question like, so what is Prove It? Because he obviously had it advertised all over the car. And so he smiles, he gives me the biggest freckle, like, it was like, all right, so I'm gonna send you some information, and you just do some research, meet me in the morning, and we'll talk about it more after. So I went home, did my research, and to tell you the truth, I didn't do my research until I thought about meeting him again. Cause I was like, shit. I went home, went to sleep, I slept on it. I wasn't overly intrigued, but when I did do the research, I gained the perception, and then when I went to go meet with him, he asked me a question. He said, all right, now knowing what you know, how much are you willing to commit to yourself? And I told him I wouldn't answer. And I wouldn't answer because I told him that I would show him versus telling him. The next day, I brought Steve 6 people, and that just in a way shows Steve how committed to myself I was, because he told me however much committed to myself I am, he'll be just as much committed to me.
So for the people watching this,
right,
something piqued your interest, and it was a car.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is, it piques your interest. Your interest. You asked the guy a question about the car, and this guy gave you some information about the product.
Right.
You went home basically, and you
did
at some
research.
point watched the video probably and did some research.
Right.
You met with this guy, and you said, "Okay, I'm interested in this product."
Right.
Then he said, "How interested are you?" And then you went and because you were so interested and so you liked the product, the research.
No, not even.
No, it wasn't the research. Well, so what was it? Do you like to go get 6 people? What happened?
It was literally the acceleration that he emphasized to me. The acceleration, like me and Steve had a long talk just about where we were in life, and where he was in life before Prove It, and like I guess we connected on such a magnitude of a level that you know, it kind of just made everything make sense. I literally was at a point in my life to where I had been dishing so much of myself out to make things work, to help me get where I wanted to be, you know, so to speak, to where I wasn't giving myself anything. I was forgetting about myself. I was living life without meaning. I was like lost, like I said, and I was mentally stuck. I was stagnant for a long time.
Tell the viewers how old you are.
I'm 21 years of age. Just turned 21 March the 13th of this year.
Okay.
Man, and so it was just, I was at a point in my life to where I was literally going insane. I was doing the same thing, expecting different results, you know? And like, after a certain turning point in my life, I told myself that none of my actions would be actions if it wasn't going to at least be involved with getting me to where I wanted to be in life. And that, I took like steps and actions towards that immediately. I didn't, like before I smoked, I didn't smoke. I didn't hang out. I didn't, you know, I really did not too much of anything but strive for what type of life I wanted to have and what made me joyful.
So you had a genuine conversation with a complete stranger.
Right.
And it resonated with you.
Right.
And you're like, we're on the same sort of wavelength, same path. And so that was 8 days ago now? 10 days ago roughly? 8 days ago?
8 days today.
And so you decide to come to the More event, which is a big event, 2,000 people here in Las Vegas this right now, but 2,000 people here. 2,300. Thank you, I stand corrected. 2,300. And you know you're coming to a big event to come and learn about the product and see the community. And you're like, I'm all in, let's go.
Oh yeah.
So why'd you come?
I told you, literally made a commitment to myself. So before I boarded that plane, I had made a commitment to myself that when I got here, no matter what type of information I was going to receive, that I was going to commit 100% of myself. And that's a step. And so when I got here, I had an open mind immediately because Steve, I promised to Steve that I would keep an open mind about everything. And I would never, like, you know, try to make that step. I just keep an open mind. So first day I got here, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The first day, the word that I'm going to use to describe that whole day is I was amazed, right? So first day I was amazed, and that was Keto Academy. The second day was more, and that was Joseph, you know?
Yeah.
Joseph McClendon III. And that day, I was inspired. That's the word I'm gonna use for that day. So I was amazed. And I thought, you know, after being amazed that was it. And so then after amazed, I was inspired. And I thought, you know what, that's my take from all the events. And then here comes this third day where I was touched. And that's a big word, touched. You know, like, and I was touched in a way that helped me continuously strive for that better to me, that better and that commitment to me. You know, just because Terrence Keto Kid Thomas, he's a very joyful person. He's a hold on, wait, I'm gonna start that over. He's a very, very, very outspoken individual. He's an overly enthusiastic and extremely charismatic individual. And you know, like, that's who I am, period. 7 days a week, 25 hours a day. Yes. That was now.
Now, so who were you previous?
Previously, I didn't really know who I was. I was living life trying to figure that out.
So if your life was a color, what color would it be?
My color was white.
White.
Before.
And if you're a color now, what color?
I'm Napoleon. I don't know what color. I'm green, I'm orange, I'm pink.
Shiny, you know, everything, doesn't matter, everywhere. Right?
And literally, the color was already in me. Prove it, amplified it. It gave my color meaning. It gave me a family. it gave me a foundation. And there's nothing shy of that. Nothing shy.
Yeah.
And the people that are inside of this family and this foundation, they're so embraceful. Like, a lot of people deal with adversity, you know, in the places that they, you know, at the places they're in, but Prove It was an environment like no other. It was so embraceful. Like, and everybody was focused on why they were there. And I didn't have a focus at first. Like I said, I came to the company, I just told you, upon coming, I made a commitment. And so in making that commitment, I stuck to it. Right. Normally I would have, man, this is this, that, and the third, or I would have found something to, you know, find my way beside the point. But no.
So you got to the event, you made a commitment to yourself, you got to the event, and we met upon your arrival.
Immediately.
Right? So we got put in each other's paths,
Yeah.
and we had a great conversation.
Right.
And I mean, you and I know, but the viewers don't know that this is the magic that happens at these events. At least I believe it's the magic. It's a large takeover.
It is the magic.
So tell the viewers what happened from a complete stranger meeting a complete stranger, and it's your first basically encounter of somebody you didn't know at the event. Your words, because you said you haven't even told me yet what happened.
Man, literally. All right, so I'm sitting at the bar, and I just got here. I got here at 3, so it's 3:10. So I'm sitting at the bar, order my drink, and then like just drinking my drink and whatnot, and then this guy comes, taps me on the shoulder. Hey, you here for the Prove It convention? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, man, me too, come on. Just normally where I'm from, I'm like, who are you? I don't know you. So I just put a wall up. But what this one guy did, you know, that I met as soon as I got here, I'm not gonna say his name. This one guy, he was like, man, come on. So I'm looking at him like, what the hell? But, you know, like I said, I made a commitment to myself, so overcame very briefly, and all right, come on, let's go. So I went with this guy, and he was like, sat down, sat at this table, we had a great conversation, and the conversation really consisted of what brought me here, why I was here, where was I before I came, and like, you know, in our conversation, we covered so much. We covered so much just about life, period. And this guy, this anonymous guy that just walked up to me, told me had an amazing, mature and mental stability. And I was at a mature level, and like, he told me that it made him feel some type of way. I'm not gonna say the word. I'll wait for the end of the story. And so he was like, man, you're so amazing, and you're gonna be great. Literally, his 2 words. He was like, you're amazing, and you're gonna be great. And like all throughout the night, that's what he continuously told me. And over the train of the 4 events, every time I seen this guy, he continuously kept that upheld vision or perception of me. I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm great, this guy right here, this guy's fucking amazing. Everywhere I went. And you know what that did for me? It gave me not motivation. It gave me inspiration, because I became accustomed to me being great. I became accustomed to me being amazing, you know? And like, I've had people tell me before, you're amazing, you're great, you should stay doing what you're doing, you're in a great place mentally. But it never mattered up until now, because I wasn't ready to enter that threshold of my life until now. And you know what? Prove It helped me like understand how to better myself, to become a better me for the company. And man, I can just tell you right now, Prove It has done so much for me in 8 days than I've been able to do for myself my whole life.
So let's talk a little bit about, came to the event without knowing what to expect, but you just like, I'm gonna just play all out. I'm gonna enjoy the ride.
Right.
You get punched in the gut by an anonymous guy.
Right. Punched in the gut, like completely.
And started the ball rolling, and maybe opened your mind to that. Man, this is gonna be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I think also. You know, maybe the idea of the opportunity of how great this event was going to be was really what that guy was trying to give to you. Was that you're great, man, go and play, because this just amazing stuff's going to happen to you.
Right.
And so tell the people what was the first amazing thing that happened to you in the event, because we all saw, for the viewers, what happened to you in the event.
Right.
Like, it's blowing everybody's minds. Let me ask you something. How many hugs have you gotten in the last 4 days?
I think about 2,300.
2,300 hugs. Okay, cool. How many hugs did you get last year from strangers?
Man, I can't even put a number on it because I don't remember. I didn't get
Did
that
you get like
many hugs.
100? 10?
I'll put a number on it. I'd say I got about the year before 500 hugs.
500. Now you got 2,300 this time.
4 days.
So what happened to you in the 4 days? Let's go for five. Let's skip 5 things. The first thing that happened to you, because you were playing all out.
Yeah, every single day.
What was the first thing that happened to you in the event that that these guys missed? They didn't see.
Okay, so the first thing that happened to me was I was brought into a wonderful family. Before the event even started, there were a number of people that were just intrigued to meet me because they knew just by hearing that I had only been in the company for 5 days. So automatically that was a move towards greatness for them, because a lot of them were dealing with the uncertainty about what they were going to do and coming and not coming and so forth and so on. So the first thing that I'm going to say out of the 5 is that I was embraced. And then I was amazed.
Right.
Too.
So what amazed you?
By all of the information and just how positive an environment can be. Like, when I say how positive, I just want you to understand how this environment is. Like, this environment, if you try to throw negative into it, it's like a fan that you throw a stick at that's spinning fast. Like, once the pin hit, bang, it ain't going nowhere. It ain't gonna work. Because everybody literally that is inside of this family is focused on becoming a better them, bettering the people around them, and bettering the world. And that's what they did. They embraced me. They amazed me. They inspired me. They touched me. They gave me meaning. And you know who they are? My Pruger family.
Right.
That's who that is.
Right. And so you were participating in the event.
Oh yeah.
You're no different than anybody else.
No.
You're not better than anybody else. You're an average person.
Yeah.
You came here with an open mind to participate. You met a family.
And this is ketones, by the way, if you did not know.
You got a magic.
Blue Ocean.
You got a magic. You had a magic experience. So the first thing that happened was you hopped up and for the viewers, you hopped up and you asked a question. You participated.
Right.
So everybody in the room had an option to participate.
Right.
A lot of people sat down. Most people didn't.
Raise their
You
hands.
decided to put your hand up and you asked a question.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the first question was you asked? I'm not meaning to put you on the spot, but I'm just wondering.
First question I asked was the second day that I was there. So that was the day after Keto Academy. That was the first day to more. And I think the question that I asked was,
For me, the question is kind of irrelevant. I was wondering if you remembered it, because I didn't. But at the end of the question, you were asking the question to Brian Underwood,
Right.
the CEO of the company, right? And Brian Underwood, you told him that you were in the business for 5 days.
That was my 5th day.
And the CEO of the company basically was blown away.
Yeah, because
Right?
blown.
Blown away is like, what? Pretty crazy. So you blew the CEO away. Then the next day, you got to participate again. You stood up to ask another question.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if you remember the question, let's tell what it is.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's not really the point. But
Yeah, the second question was the biggest question of the event. because Anthony Pettis was there.
Right.
Anthony Pettis is a wonderful, wonderful person. Man, he's amazing. And saying that first because I just honor that guy like in so many ways.
Now the
like
viewers should look him up and research his story. You want to be inspired,
right?
But like that
so,
guy,
this guy, he you know, like Brian's asking, you know, he's talking to him, and then we, you know, there's a time when we can ask him questions, and like during him telling us about him, you know, I could just sense, you know, a sense of struggle, and it transpired a question in my soul that would not rest. And the question was, you know, being that I come from a more urban environment, you know, and deal with a lot of mental stagnancy. I don't know if that's a word, I probably just made it up.
As long as you can spell it.
Mentally stagnant.
You just made it up.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I came from an urban place, and I was in a place of being mentally stagnant, you know, and just being able to sense the struggle from a young man to a grown man. You know, what was that like? Can you elaborate on that for me? Just coming from a place like where we come from and just making it. You know what? It, like that question right there was so imperative that I asked that question, because that's where I came from literally before I came to the event. And I had to ask that question because that was the question that was transpiring in my soul that I did not understand.
Right.
You know? And like he elaborated on that for me. And once he elaborated, it gave me so much. So much. It gave me so much from like for here. And it gave me so much fuel because I could see out of all the people that I've seen doing it before, no one had ever made that connection with me like Anthony did. And I don't know if you know he did it because it was so easy for him to do. And the connection was made so immediately,
right.
You know, that I don't know if you just understand the complexity of it. But man, that right there changed my life. And right upon after that, after I asked the question, after he elaborated, Brian said something to me that just sent me over the top. And he grabbed the mic and he walked over to me and he said, I will commit to you more than any of these other gurus that you can put me in front of. But you gotta be willing to commit to me.
And you said?
I ain't gonna talk, I'll show you. And he brought me on stage. And when he brought me on stage, like, what did it for me is because, like, for me, my dad is too busy. My real dad, and yes, Dad, I said it, you too busy. I want you to see it. He's too busy. But right then and right there, Brian's world stopped. And no matter how much money this guy is making, or what this guy's his focus is, you know, right now, and so to speak, it was the event. His world stopped for me right then, right there. And he made it about me. And when he brought me on stage, he said, you know, what do they do, Anthony, when you win? He said, they celebrate. He's like, yeah, I know they celebrate, but what do they do when you win? You know, they raise your arm in victory. And he told the sound staff to play I Am the Champion. And you know what that did when he raised my arm and the song came on? The room was electrified. And I went from being in that urban place to where I was trying to figure out how to get out of and being mentally stagnant to being mentally sure and overly enthusiastic and in a whole different another place than where I was. And I freaking, like I literally entered and crossed the threshold into being something great. And that's where, like, man, I'm telling you right now, I haven't even processed it all, okay? I haven't even processed it all because it's a lot to process. And like so much has just happened for me in these 8 days, man, 8 days. 8 days ago, a week ago, I would have never told you that I would be here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Red Rock Resort and Spa.
Right.
None of that.
So why don't we end this on a couple of questions?
Yes.
I know I've been asking you a few questions, but 2 more questions I have
No
for you because I
problem.
want to respect your time. It's a 25-minute interview, and we've got some pool time to do. And thank you for taking the time. What would you say to somebody that is not here at the event?
Yes.
What would you say to them? How would we talk to them about the importance of what an event like this does for somebody, or has the potential to do like it did for you? Because the potential was there for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So everybody has the same potential. You weren't anything special. You weren't handpicked. Like,
Right.
you came to an event, open-minded, decided to participate, took a leap of faith, and your life changed.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just that
in a
quick.
nutshell. So why don't you describe, what would you say to somebody who hasn't been to the event?
Man, this event really helps you learn the value of yourself and the value of your time. If anything you're doing right now is not the absolute best thing you can do with your time, I suggest that you stop it right there. And you start investing your time into something that is way more beneficial for you. And for me, that's proven. Nothing I did gave me the height or even the depth of the decision that I made, taking that leap of faith and coming here. Nothing. I couldn't have did anything in my life but make a few better decisions, and then going to school, and I had a lot of decisions, to make throughout life. Nothing I've did in my whole entire life, and I'm only 21. Nothing I've done so far has gave me the height, and I'm gonna say it again, nor the depth of what the decision that I made of coming here has done for me.
I listened to you talk like I did the first night. Let the cat's out of the bag.
Right.
Like I did that first night, and your wisdom are beyond your years. Like, you're only 21 years old,
Yeah.
and you talk. To me, it blows my mind because you talk with such wisdom for such a young man.
I appreciate it.
And I don't know how that is. People can't get that stuff in books. I think it's life experience. It's an absolutely amazing thing. When I heard you
Right.
talk that first night, dude, like I said, you're special. And I saw it. I saw the special before the special even needed to happen for the masses. And it was just such an amazing thing to watch somebody so special get exactly what a special person deserved.
Man.
Right?
Man, oh man.
And I was so very proud of you.
Man.
As a 45-year-old father, I'm so very proud of you for having such an open mind and participating. And I was so proud when you're on the mic talking, and I was like, that's my man. That guy's special. That's my man. He's special. And then you talk the next day, and then the Anthony Pettis happens, and then all of a sudden you're getting hugs, and I'm watching you get embraced by complete strangers, and I'm like, that's my man. I feel like I'm your friend. I feel like I'm your proud, very proud friend that could be your father. I'm so speechless, and it's hard for me to get speechless. Let me just tell you. Sometimes. But I'm speechless, my man. I'm actually speechless.
If you remember, I said I wasn't gonna say this guy's name yet. But before we cap this off, I have to tell you, that guy's name was Shane. Okay. And the word that I'm gonna use to describe this man is the phrase, because it's not a word. You can't even use a word to describe it because it's gonna be such an understatement. This guy's nothing shy of a God-sent miracle. And that's just from me to Shane to everybody else, to all the viewers. This guy is so amazing. And with just him continuously sowing that seed of amazingness, and you're great, you're amazing, you're great. You constantly feeding me that to my soul. You were like that father I didn't have, because my dad was too busy to tell me, hey, son, you amazing. You great. Son, you amazing. You great. Son, you amazing. You great. Have you seen this? Have you seen this kid? This kid is amazing. This kid is fucking great. And you know what that did for me, man? Like, and I told you, I didn't tell you this, man. You literally made me cry when I went to my room. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said before, only you know. And like now the viewers know, like, I didn't have a lot of time from a lot of people that emphasize and that, like, put that into my world, into my atmosphere, into my soul. You know, and that's, I'm gonna say, my Uncle Bo and Aunt Yvette, that's who did. That's who did. And I had so many people in my life to like try to put that into me, you know, and like and nobody was like nearly as effective as I was to myself, telling myself that. I had to know that myself first. And then upon finding that out for myself, there was Shane. And he backed that up. He gave me clarification because Shane didn't know me from Adam and Eve. But you know, Shane made sure he said every time that I seen this guy, and that wasn't just oh man, you're amazing, you're great. That wasn't planned because everybody, you know, that was simply because of the impression that I made on you. Simply.
Yeah.
Simply because of that.
A reflection of you came out of my mouth.
And like, I honor that, man. I honor that with every bone in my body. Every bone in my body.
So, has your life changed?
Has it changed?
Yeah. Has your life changed from coming to this event?
I just want to ask the people, the viewers, it's water wet. Okay? Yes, my life has changed.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've remained the same, but your life has changed. That's the incredible thing.
So, I mean, yeah, so to speak, I remain the same as in some ways, but I've become a lot more mature than what I was the first night you met me.
Yeah.
First night you met me, I was mature. I had wisdom. I had experience from, you know, the things that I went through, but I was not the person that I am today because I didn't have the support.
Right.
And the foundation and the mental sureness that I have today. I haven't been so sure of myself ever in my life than I am right now. Shane, 6 months from now, I may be inviting you to a place of my own. 6 months from now, we're gonna be riding in a vehicle of my own. 6 months from now, I'm not gonna be able to even see where I came from, but I never forget. If you understand what that means.
I am picking up what you're putting down, my man. You are an absolutely incredible guy. I'm telling you, I'm blessed to have met you.
Man, I'm honored to have met you.
You don't even know the half of how blessed I am. And we'll get to that story another time, my man, because friends for life.
Man,
for life, and that's what happens here.
All right, so one thing I gotta ask you, look, when am I gonna be able to come to Canada, okay?
Buddy, you're invited to Canada anytime. We gotta go in the summertime because it's cold there in the wintertime.
Look, that's what everybody keeps telling me. Y'all don't know, I love the cold.
Well, then you're welcome to come anytime, and man, we'll take you skiing. But listen, I don't know how I can do this like this, but
let me do my selfie stick.
There you are there. Here I am.
Oh, yeah.
Here's us here. Right? Get that big smile on their faces as a show. Because big smile.
Prove It has done it.
We
smile again,
buddy.
for us.
Buddy, I love you.
I love you too, man.